Hello YouTube, it's a lovely morning right here in Miami, and later this afternoon I'll be going on yet another Atlantis cruise, this time with Virgin Voyages. Today I'm going to talk about the morning of embarkation day, what that looks like, things you should be doing, and of course my tips and tricks to get your cruise vacation off to a great start. But before we go on, I want to thank Atlantis for bringing me onto the cruise this week and making this video possible. And I think I want to change first. Much better! Oh, I forgot my shirt. Okay, now we're change. Honestly, I just wanted to be shirtless on camera. I did forget my shirt. To start off the morning, we're gonna play a little game. It's called, Do You Know Where Your Passport Is? Mine is right here. I've volunteered with Atlantis quite a few times now, and for some reason, every time I volunteer with Team Atlantis, at least one person on embarkation day has somehow left their passport behind and do not have their passport with them. They have 6 outfits for every single party, 6 bottles of poppers, 18 different jock straps. No passport. So on the morning of embarkation day, just make sure and double check you have your passport with you. Make sure not to leave it behind at the hotel. Put it in a carry-on bag that you will have with you at all times until you get on the ship. To take myself as an example, I checked in the hotel yesterday night and I put my passport into the safe in the hotel room. This morning, I made sure to take my passport out of the safe so I don't leave it behind there, and I'm going to put it directly into my backpack, which I will have with me at all times until I get onto the ship. If at this point you can't find your passport, don't panic. Just double and triple check every nook and cranny of the hotel room. Try to retrace your steps. Maybe it's just in like a funky weird pocket in your luggage. Maybe it's slipped under the bed. However, if you do realize that your passport is now hundreds or maybe thousands of miles away from where you are, girl, work. You're gonna need more help than what I can give you in this YouTube video. The next very important tip is to not be late for the ship. If you watch any of my previous YouTube videos about cruise advice, one of the things I keep saying is the ship waits for no one. In the days and weeks leading up to the cruise, you should have been given guidelines on when check-in will open and when check-in will close for your particular cruise. To use Atlantis as an example, they'll include check-in time information in the Cruise Vacation Guide, which is a PDF that they'll send out in an email in the days and weeks leading up to the cruise, and it will also be on their website in the already booked section for your particular cruise. So the opening and closing times for check-in is basically when's the very earliest any of the passengers should show up, and when's the absolute latest that passengers need to show up by to get onto the ship. If you register online with the cruise line ahead of time, you'll probably be assigned a check-in time during that online process, and that will be the best time for you to arrive at the port. If for any reason you were not able to register online beforehand, don't worry, just look in the check-in information again that should have been sent out to you to see if there's a specific time window you should aim for to arrive at the port. Otherwise, just make sure to arrive somewhere between when check-in opens and check-in closes. But whatever you do, just make sure you get there before check-in closes. That's like the absolute deadline for when any and all of the passengers need to show up. Make sure you just arrive well before that time. In my case, for the cruise I'm about to go on later this afternoon, check-in opens at 1 p.m. and it closes at 6 p.m. So 6 p.m. is the deadline for when all the passengers must show up before. I was not able to register online beforehand for many good reasons. And in the Cruise Vacation Guide, it says that for people who were not able to register online, they should show up at around 4 p.m. So I'm going to aim to arrive at the port at that time. Okay, those are the 2 absolutely most critical things. Have your passport and your ID, and just make sure to know when is the latest you should arrive at the port, and make sure to get there before that time. Now, I want to talk about something that's more like a tip, and it's something that I do all the time for every cruise that I go on, and that's called the drugstore run. One of my top packing tips is to buy some of your basic toiletries after you've flown into the city of the port, instead of packing every single toiletry that you might think is necessary on your cruise vacation. First of all, this reduces how much you have to pack for the cruise, and boys are always packing so much stuff for the cruise that I think anything they can get away with packing less of is just gonna make packing less of a chore. Second, by packing less toiletries that you will buy later, you have more room for other things that you can't buy after you've flown in. So you have more room for party outfits and accessories, for example. Third and finally, the less liquid toiletries you pack, the less chance that some sort of liquid will make an icky, gooey mess in your luggage, and nobody wants that. So right now, after you've flown in, but before you go to the port, it's the best time for this drugstore run where you can pick up those toiletries you didn't pack and also possibly any last minute items you might need. And PS, aside from alcohol and beverages, most cruise lines don't have a limit to how much liquids you can bring onto the ship. I checked into the hotel yesterday, and last night I did a drugstore run. Oh, it's not sponsored by CVS. I'm gonna show you guys what I got. I have protein powder because protein powder. Travel size hairspray. By the way, a lot of drugstores like Walgreens and CVS, they have a travel section where they have small little sizes, travel sizes of a lot of basic toiletries. And for a cruise, those are perfect. Next, I have some conditioner for my hair. Some cruise lines, they don't have conditioner for some reason. They'll have 3-in-1 body wash, shampoo, and conditioner, which is shit. It's just body wash, but they call it shampoo, but it's not a conditioner. I have mouthwash, alcohol-free. I have body wash because I have sensitive skin because I am sensitive. And this wasn't originally on my list, but I just got some melatonin just because I forgot to pack it. And this video was not sponsored by any of those brands. The next thing I want to talk about, I actually saw a message from someone pop up in one of the group chats for this upcoming cruise. And the problem is between when they need to check out of the hotel, which is maybe 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. noon, and when they should be getting to the port was like 4 or 5 p.m. So they have the sizable chunk of time that they need to kill before they get to the cruise, but after they check out of the hotel. So what do? So here are a couple of tips to help you out. First of all, talk to the front desk at the hotel and see if there's a late checkout available. Most hotels I've been to, they might not be able to tell you whether a late checkout is available until the morning that you're supposed to check out. So the morning of embarkation day, if you have not had a late checkout confirmed by that time, just give the front desk a call when you wake up and just double check to see if a late checkout is possible. So if you are able to get a late checkout, obviously that will help you out a lot. But if a late checkout is not available, talk to the front desk again and see if they can hold your luggage for, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 hours, however long you need. And then while the front desk at the hotel has your luggage, you can go have lunch, grab a coffee, do that drugstore run I was telling you about if you didn't have a chance to go do that drugstore run before. Find a park, walk in nature, whatever you want to do to kill a little bit of time. Now, I don't recommend you go to the pier before check-in opens because the likelihood is the doors will be locked, the building might not be open for you to be inside and chill and wait around. You might be standing outside with your luggage, there won't be any seating, maybe in the blazing hot sun, possibly in cold and rainy weather. I, luckily, have a 4 p.m. late checkout at this lovely hotel. It was actually a perk of one of my credit cards. I didn't realize it until I checked in and the chick was like, oh, you have this and that and a 4 p.m. guaranteed late checkout. I'm like, fabulous, that works perfectly for the cruise I'm about to go on. However, if I didn't have a late checkout, what I would have done is I would have just checked out at 12. They are able to hold luggage for their guests here. And there are some restaurants nearby. I would have had just a nice casual lunch. There's also some cute cafes as well. I would have just had a calm, relaxing cup of coffee, maybe have some coffee, cake, or snacks or something on the side of that. And I would have actually been checking some of my work emails and chats and things like that just before going to the cruise, just to get all the work stuff done and clear and out of my head. If I didn't have a chance to do that drugstore run like I was mentioning before, when I'm ready to head to the port, then I can just come back to the hotel, grab my luggage from the front desk, call a taxi or a Uber or a Lyft or whatever, and then off I go to the cruise. The last thing now is to get to the port and just make sure you get to the right place. I have before been driving to the port because I was living nearby, and there were so many port buildings that I rented the wrong one, and it took me about 20 minutes after I was at the cruise campus before I made it to the right place. So just make sure to double check the cruise port address of the specific port of the port that you are supposed to go to. Again, in the information that you should have been sent in the days and weeks leading up to the cruise, using Atlantis as an example again, in the cruisification guide PDF, right where the check-in information is, they have in there the exact name and address of the port that I should go to. So I just punch that into my GPS or the Uber app or give that to the taxi driver, and then away I go. Finally, I hope you have some time to just take it easy and start relaxing and getting into that vacation mode the morning of embarkation day. I woke up at 9 a.m. when they were knocking for the breakfast I ordered last night for the room service. I almost slept through that. Had a lovely, very leisurely, relaxing breakfast in the room. I'm filming this video with you now, and it's only like 11 a.m. still, so I'm gonna watch some TV. I'm gonna go have lunch. Later on, I'm gonna leisurely pack up my stuff. I have lots of time to pack. I won't be in any rush, and I just want to be really, really relaxed before I head to the port and do my check-in and do all that. And I'll be doing another video coming up very soon where I'm going to show you the process of what happens when you get to the port with luggage and checking in and security and actually boarding the ship. All of that stuff I'm gonna cover in an upcoming video. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned with me. I'm gonna give you lots more gay cruise advice and tips. Until next time, bye YouTube. Okay, let's just record. It'll be fine.